Hey guys, welcome to the Nerd Out season finale, season 2. I have here with me Huey and Monk. They have survived the gauntlet throughout this season, and we are finally getting down to it. This is the nitty-gritty. This is the finals. This is for the championship. Are you two guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Monk, I'm ready when you're ready up, by the way.
Alright, I'm good.
Alright, we'll just jump right into it. Question 1. Superman has gone rogue and joined forces with Thanos. Nice little mashup there. Form a team of 4 to take them down. Monk, your answers first.
Alright, my answers. As everybody should know, I am a huge fan of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan specifically, so he's obviously going to make it on my team. Partly because his constructs, he could make kryptonite, and he has space travel and abilities and all that kind of things that he would need. I'm also picking Adam Warlock because he has experience versus Thanos. All his powers, his superhuman regen. He can even make himself into a cocoon, to stop from completely dying. Brainiac for his level 12 intelligence. He's pretty much unstoppable because he has endless clones and drones and all this power over technology. And also Mr. Mxyzptlk, because he pretty much can't die. He's got great experience versus Superman, and he pretty much sets his own limitations and restrictions as to how to get rid of him. And he can alter reality to his will, so he could pretty much change it however he wanted to.
Good little 4-topper of a team. Huey, your answers.
Drop out, by the way.
Alright, gotta think about this one right quick, because I'm just kind of doing it off of a whim. I would have to say I would choose Doctor Strange, DC supervillain, the Thinker, the Flash, and Iron Man.
Oh.
The reason why I chose who I chose is because the Flash is one of the only people faster than Superman. And by faster, I mean by leagues faster. Thinker can produce thousands of thoughts per second. Iron Man can have a kryptonite iron suit. And Doctor Strange could set the chessboard every time over again, like in this battle against Dormammu, giving infinite amount of times to attack. An infinite amount of times to think between Thinker to try and predict the future and make changes every time.
Okay. All right.
Plus, the Flash's famous neutron star punch.
Okay. All right. So, Huey, why would your answers be better than his?
The Flash can run 2.4 times 10 to the 43rd power the speed of light. By far faster than anything. He has outran people who were able to teleport. His speed and his power alone, and his ability to reset the time scale, along with Doctor Strange, is invaluable. Doctor Strange can also trap Thanos and Superman in a perpetual time loop until they're defeated. Thinker can think of all the infinite amount of possibilities and infinite amount of ways in order to get it done. And in this time trap, you can teach a little bit more every single time to the team.
Okay.
And Iron Man's genius, he can weaponize kryptonite and infuse it into his iron suit.
All right. Huey, your rebuttal.
You mean my rebuttal?
Yes, Mark, your rebuttal. Wow. All right, got ahead of
All
myself.
right. Yeah. While I do agree with that, that'd be an awesome team and setup. All those people you could incapacitate in some way or another somehow. I would say mine would probably be a little better because you can basically get almost the same results throughout the 4 different people. Alter a few of them, and you can't get everything that the class has. Obviously, you can't do something that Doctor Strange can do, but you do have Mr. Mxyzptlk, which can alter reality, so he could basically create his own time loop if he wanted to, and he can't die. And Brainiac has the intelligence. Adam Warlock obviously has lots of different great abilities. Green Lantern can make constructs with his power that are kryptonite.
Okay. Wow. Both guys gave good solid answers. Good possibilities on both of them. Shoo. Alright. This one, just with what y'all gave me, I'm going to have to give this round to Huey. Being able to do the time loop and everything, that was just epic. I highly appreciate that. Not that Monk's answers went great, because they really were. It's just Huey had the better options when it came to how to stop them. Alright. We'll go to question 2 now. We're gonna go ahead and let y'all pitch the next main villain for the solo Batman film.
I knew my answer right away as soon as I seen the question. Just based on, it's not a character that I know a lot about, but based on what I've heard about and what I learned researching about him.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let Huey have the first go at this.
I know this one was in a previous Batman series, but this villain didn't make an appearance in a while, and I think they could really do a lot of work with this character. Plus, this character also was unlike most of Batman's villains in the past, where they have shown some brutish way of force. I think Poison Ivy would be a good pick.
Okay.
It wouldn't be bad to watch, I'll tell you that.
Alright.
Yeah.
Monk, who would be your villain?
My villain, like I said, as soon as I seen the question, I knew right away who I'd pick because I think it'd be interesting to see. Because as far as I know, I've never seen him in a Batman movie. That would be Hush.
Ooh.
Because I mean, he's highly intelligent. He's a great marksman. He's a strategist. His backstory is so interesting. But I think you could either put him as the next main villain in the next Batman movie, or you could make a backstory movie of him alone and then put him as a villain in the Batman movie.
Okay. Huey, why would your answer be a better call than Monk's?
Well, it's gonna take Batman out of his element in order to track her and stop her. She is a botanist who's able to control plants, immune to toxins, of which Batman uses many times to incapacitate his foes. And the big thing that's going to be interesting about it, Batman's not going to be in the city. I know she does appear in the city, but he's not going to be fighting in the concrete jungle that he's used to.
Okay.
And he's gonna have to change in order to beat her.
All right. Monk, your rebuttal.
Mm-hmm. It would be definitely interesting to watch, especially if you got the right female person, actress to play Poison Ivy. I know loads of people would go just to see that alone. But I'm still sticking with the backstory for Hush. That alone would probably make a hell of a movie. Then you tie it in with a Batman movie, their history together and stuff. I think that alone would make probably one of the best Batman movies to ever come out, in my opinion. If done right.
Okay.
I don't know, Poison Ivy, it's more well known. I mean, she has already been in one movie. But I don't know, I find Hush would be more interesting to myself. I don't know, it might be a more personal opinion.
All right. This y'all gave pretty simple answers. What decided this was the fact that you gave a character that we haven't seen in a movie yet. So, Monk, you're going to get that round.
That's a pretty good answer, I'd say.
It really is.
I never thought of that.
I don't know, that was the first one to pop up in my head as soon as I thought of it. I was like, oh, that would be such a great movie.
And I agree. Alright, round 3. Pitch an Avengers video game. Monk, you won that round, so you get to go first this time.
Alright, I'm gonna say, it would be a fighting game. You could go, I come up with 2 actually. Avengers, you could call it Avengers Infinity Wars, or you could have Avengers versus Justice. In which it'd be fighting genre, you'd have your multiple characters, possibly a story with co-op. There would definitely be multiplayer. But if done right, the fighting genre is a big genre to get into. That could potentially mix well with the variety of characters that you have from either just the Avengers, like a Civil War kind of thing. You could even base it off the movie coming out, Infinity Wars. Or if you go Avengers versus Justice League, that's a whole load of characters you can choose from to use.
Alright. Huey, go ahead and pitch us a game here.
I was thinking of more like a game where it is player versus player, similar to Smite, where you can also do player versus enemies. So you can choose in between all different sorts of superheroes for all the time, and activate super abilities, and either go toe-to-toe against other superheroes, or squad up and take on waves of enemies. And possibly even do content such as raids, where you have to destroy Thanos with said fire team. You have to organize your fire team and pick according to their abilities who would be best in the situation.
Okay. Alright.
You could always launch DLC contents to include new heroes, new villains.
Alright. So, Mark, why would your video game play better than Huey's?
I think for one, it's more of an established genre to start off with. 'Cause you got so many different superhero games, and a lot of them are, I don't want to say crappy, even though they're kind of crappy, but a lot of them are just not as good as they should be.
Okay.
Whereas fighting games, it's less that you have to worry about getting right. So they can focus more on getting the combat and the characters and the moves, as opposed to all this extra stuff that they would have to get into. And they might could always add that later. Like if they had a story mode or something, they could start adding stuff once they had the original formula down. Because we've all seen Destiny 2
Right.
and Destiny 1
All right.
and Destiny 2.
All right. So, Huey, why would your gameplay bet? Wait, you already asked you that, didn't I?
They didn't ask me that.
No,
Okay, yeah. I'm getting confused with myself here tonight. All right. So, Huey.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do them. Very bad.
Well, I
right.
think the reason why I would choose the game style I want is so I can just play the character openly, you know?
Okay.
Zip around the map as the Flash, or even include villains in DLC. And it would just be fun to just experiment with the character and see what they can do, learn a little bit more about the backstory, maybe.
All right. Well, both of you had very solid answers. With this, see y'all had to go and make it tough on me.
I did have another idea for game 2, but I'll mention that after you make your decision.
All right. This one, I swear. I'm gonna have to go with Huey. The being able to,
Glad you be honest with you.
yeah, the being able to play the character any way I would please, just seems like a better option.
Yeah, you sold me on it too, but you know I'm not gonna give up. I gotta at least fight for my option.
You gotta
Alright.
want it.
Yes.
But having said that, my other idea and the one I probably should have went with was like an Avengers MMO, kind of similar to like DC Universe Online, something like that, where you can play either as an Avenger or create your own character and play with the Avengers. But I still like your idea better. I'd be down for that. Need some bandages.
Alright, so we are on to the next round. It is now 20-10. Round 4. Choose one Marvel and one DC character to fight. Best fight wins. Huey, you're up.
Man, I gotta think about it.
That's the
Ain't
one I
easy.
wish I would have elaborated a little more on myself.
Well, I'm just trying to pull these straight from my head and put them into play. Oh. You're making my brain hurt. Oh.
Do I need to play the Jeopardy theme song? Actually, I believe that's copyright and they don't really like that too well on YouTube.
Not if you sing it and you alter it. I hope that's you running. Yes, it is.
Yes. 'Tis me.
There's a chest up here. Ain't got nothing in it. Advantages. Common weapon.
I found a purple shotgun.
Nice.
Man, I'm having a tough time.
Alright, well, Muck, what is your answer?
Alright, just make sure I know what I'm elaborating on.
One
And I'm
Marvel,
getting shot at.
one Marvel, one DC character. Make them fight.
Okay. My choices, and I thought about it for a while, and I mean they're I don't want to say they're really similar because they're, you know, almost identical, but I still think it'd be interesting. Martian Manhunter and Vision.
Okay.
They got so many different abilities that it basically works down to who can outlast the other and learn and adapt to the other one's strategy quickest and most efficiently.
Okay.
Because they have pretty much the same abilities. I can't remember, but I'm thinking they have pretty much like maybe one or two weaknesses, and those even might be similar. Or if not, they can exploit the other one's weakness. So I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Okay. Huey?
I think he may have gotten something, but as far as an idea. I would think Lex Luthor on the DC side. He's a kingpin. He's smart. He's got money. He's got a lot of followers. Against Red Skull, who was basically in the same position.
I ain't mad at that.
I think Red Skull being Lex Luthor being a business tycoon can take down Red Skull without even having to raise a gun to him.
Okay.
But
Wow.
that's if Red Skull's army doesn't march on Lex Luthor's door and try and take over all the people protecting Lex Luthor, his private army.
Okay. Now, Muck, why would your answer be the better fight?
It's kind of tough to be honest with you. I don't know. I for one think it would be more interesting for the better fight because you have two. I guess superhumans wouldn't really be the right term because they're technically not even human. But you have two superpowered beings as opposed to, or two almost godlike beings as opposed to two more intelligent, yes, but they don't have what I would necessarily call superpowers or abilities.
Okay.
So it'd be more of an ability fight as opposed to a mind and gadget fight.
Okay. Huey, why would yours be better?
You know, it didn't really show Lex Luthor in past Batman series fully use his war suit. And with Red Skull being a super strong person, it'd be perfect to see Lex Luthor get his ass kicked by Red Skull, and then in his rebuttal, he creates this war suit that grants him superhuman strength, force fields, and he'll also have advanced weaponry to keep up with Hydra and take the battle to his doorstep in the same way Red Skull delivered it to Lex Luthor in the first place, if had be. I think that could make for quite the interesting ending, and you can work with so much in there too.
Okay. I like it, I like it. Both had very strong answers, both very different fights than I expected.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did
well,
not.
can I add something on my part?
Yes.
It's too late, you had your turn. Nope.
Oh, that's why I asked. That would be fair. Um, um, we've kind of already seen what Lex and Red Skull can do for the most part. I mean, they may not have flexed 100%, but you kind of get the picture as to what's going on. And while we have seen what Vision and Martian Manhunter can do, you rarely get to see them go all out and use their full potential, because they're almost like Superman, and that they're so overpowered that they kind of have to hold back at times.
Okay. Any final thoughts from you, Huey?
I was just imagining, I really like war movies. So, I was trying to make something that's more of like a war movie. And make it fisticuffs in the end. Because you have Lex Luthor's private army attacking a Hydra base, vice versa. Hydra occupies a city, last standing building is Lex Luthor and his private army's in there. It can make for a real interesting battle leading up to that final fight.
Okay. Well, like I said, both very strong arguments on both accounts. But I feel, with the way everything was put out for me, I feel one of them wouldn't even really be them two fighting until the very end, and other people would be doing a lot of the fighting. But when it comes to Vision and Martian Manhunter, I feel they would be doing the fighting themselves. And I feel like that would be a more entertaining fight. So Monk will get those points, and that will tie us to 2020. And we will go on into round 5. What video game should be made into an open world?
I've covered, buddy.
Monk, your answer.
That's your shield potion too, by the way. This one is my favorite question, because I already knew the answer. And it is an idea of a game that I've been working on myself for, on and off for the past few years. That would be a Pokemon game. You could have 2 story modes, one following more of like the show kind of thing, and then you can have one for your own personal character to go through. But there are loads of Pokemon. You can have many different regions. There's so much potential for DLC, multiplayer. You can have different team combos, gym battles, events. You can have on-the-fly battles with people, just running up to people or trading with them. You got the different starters and regions you can pick from. You can even have the regions separate, and you can't carry Pokemon from one region to another until you beat the region that you're going to. There's just a lot of potential that you can do, and I'm pretty sure I know the reason why they never made it. But that was like one of my all-time favorite games that I wish would be made.
Okay. Huey, your answer.
Trying to think on how I want to word this.
There's 3 of them. Keep going. 4 of them.
Its next open world title. There's so many open world games now. It's really tough to think of one.
What you're doing is choosing a game that is not open world and turning it into an open world.
I think I have an idea. I was thinking something along the lines of Splinter Cell.
Okay.
It's an open world, you always have to be alert, and you can make it to designated safe houses to check your gear and ready up for the next mission. And I'm guessing the way I would like it to be seen as being played would be similar to Sly Cooper. You can still roam and explore and kill bosses. You can run around in the open, risk engagements, or you can sneak around on the rooftops or through buildings to get to your objective.
Okay.
And even as a player versus player, I know they did player versus player in that game. It could be an open world like spy versus spy and have enemies all around, similar to in like The Division.
Okay. All right. Huey, why would your game be better than Monk's?
I think it would bring a next level kind of thought on player versus player, player versus enemies, modernizing it. Basically, like I said, it's just like a shooter version of Sly Cooper.
Okay.
Also in player versus player, I remembered playing that game and really liking it because it's hunter be hunted. And it would be very suiting for the new survival style game modes that are being more popularized by PUBG and Fortnite. You could really pull that off in one of them situations.
All right. Monk, why would your game be a better game than Huey's?
While it does sound like it'd be an interesting game, I was never big on Sly Cooper, so I may not have gotten the fun out of it as you did. But it sounds really, really similar to The Division, although I can see the differences you're talking about. But that's basically another PvP shooter. Whereas the Pokemon game, while now technically they're more linear, because you can only go certain paths. If you had one that was more MMO-like, it would be more like Fallout, where you could go in and as soon as you start, you could go pretty much anywhere in that region that you wanted and do the gyms or whatever, however order you want, as opposed to sticking to a certain order that you have to, like the games do normally now. Plus, there's a load of potential for DLC when they upgrade to a new version of the game, or new Pokemon come out that can just have DLC to bring it in and update that game.
Okay.
The multiplayer would be amazing, because not only could you go in and have like gym battles or arena battles against people, but you could just walk up to people on the fly and have a battle, or walk up to them and trade. It'd be really, really interesting, I think.
Okay. Both had very good answers. I like the idea of both. But Monk's answer would be one that a lot of people would enjoy. And I know I myself would very much like to play one. So I'm going to
I think it'd be opening that series to a whole new load of people. that don't want to hold a little bitty console.
Right. All right. So that will put us to 30-20. Monk has the lead, and we are going into the final round. This is the one where you have to wager. So, how many points will you be wagering?
I mean, I gotta go all in, of course.
Okay. He is wagering 30. How many points, Huey?
Do 15.
All right. So, 15 and 30 are wagered. Here is your final question. And I am surrounded by a whole bunch of people. All right.
That didn't sound like a question.
I know. All right. So, with the new Avengers coming out here in just a few short weeks, we are going to be going into a new era. What villain should the next Avengers movie have?
Ooh. Right away, I got it.
I don't. Like, I'm assuming it'd have to be any villain from the Marvel Universe, correct?
Yes.
Okay, okay. That's a hard one. It's a hard one, but I think I know what I'm gonna go with. And I hope I don't just make an ass of myself.
So, who shall go first? Monk, you have the lead. We are going to let you go first.
Oh, you had to let me go first, didn't you? Alright. I don't think, at least as far as I can remember, I think he was in one of the movies. But he wasn't actually like a villain in the movie. I'm gonna go with Thanos.
He's actually in this upcoming Avengers movie.
Is he? Okay,
Yes.
see, I did not know that. Damn. Alright, well, I'm not gonna go with Thanos. Because apparently, I just found out that he is in this next Avengers movie. So, that's not gonna work. That is a really hard one, sir. That is a really hard one. You can let Hugh go first if you want to.
Alright. Huey?
I was gonna choose Exitar the Executioner.
Well, I
Okay.
have no idea who that is.
Super powerful being. Also known as the Destroyer of Worlds. He could destroy planets with ease, with no effort. If he were to get a hold of any of the Infinity Stones, any which one, it'd be doom. It'd be doom for Earth. It would require all the superheroes and possibly supervillains fighting together to bring him down. The Celestial. I mean, how are you going to beat him? That would make for an epic movie. Supervillains, superheroes, butting heads to form a team, fighting side by side against a Celestial that is threatening to destroy the world.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna take another shot. I think I thought of somebody. But
Alright.
I can't remember if he's been in a movie, I don't think so. And I'm not 100% sure that he's on the Marvel universe. He might be on DC. But, Annihilus. Is he not Marvel?
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't remember for sure. But if he is, that's my answer.
I'm gonna grab my phone right quick and look it up.
For sure.
Annihilus?
Yeah. And
Um,
I'm struggling to remember anything much about him. I know he is supposed to be like super strong and stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna
Said he
fail horribly
appeared
on
in
this.
Fantastic Four Annual number 6, so that is Marvel.
It is.
Fantastic. All right. I'm googling him right now. Okay. Oh yeah, because he
Aw,
has
dang
superhuman
it.
strength and speed and stamina and durability and all that stuff.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Alright, yeah. This is the right guy. Cool. He is like the Lord of the Undead, I believe. In a way. Because he can revive himself continuously. He can put fear into others. I had to pick somebody I don't really know. I mean, yeah, he's obviously not the #1 top now, but he's up there for sure.
All right. So, we've got just a few more minutes left. Let's get down to it. Monk and Huey, why would your choices be better than the others? This is for the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Huey rip me apart, and then I'll try to pick up the pieces.
Alright, well, Exitar, I just looked him up right quick to get a little bit more history on battles that have happened between him and other people. I read on here that said a full-strength hammer blow from Thor only managed to punch a small hole in his armor. And with Galacticus being a Celestial, his sheer size is going to be fearsome enough.
Okay.
He can control cosmic energy with an unknown limit and is damn near invulnerable. Only Thor has seemingly the kryptonite to defeat him, but apparently it's Thor's Yarnbjorn. Never even heard of that. It also says that Exidar is able to effortlessly defeat superheroes as if they were like bugs. So I'm assuming that's also going to happen to Hulk if he comes into contact with him. Flick him off his chest like a flea.
Okay.
That is going to be a force to be reckoned with. It'll make for one hell of a movie.
Okay. Monk.
Alright, I've had a little bit of time to like read up on my dude. I think it would be interesting, or he might be better because he has, I mean, of course he has a superhuman strength, superhuman speed, stamina, durability, all that. But he also has the continuous rebirth, in which no matter how many times he's killed, he's going to come back to life. So he's always going to be able to fight, and he can broadcast fear into his opponents, even people like the Hulk. He can broadcast fear into them. He's formidable as hand-to-hand combat, although he was probably not the best, and he has energy blast that he can use. So I think, if nothing else, it'd be interesting. I think it would be interesting to see him because no matter what, he's going to keep coming back to fight, and eventually he's going to learn something on how to beat whoever he needs to beat, because he already can rival Thanos, and Thanos is one of the strongest beings out there.
Okay. Now, both of you have given me good points about your character, but why would the other character not make for a good Avengers movie?
I don't know. To be totally honest with you, I'd like to watch both of those movies.
Yeah.
So, neither of you have an answer to that question.
I think mine would be more interesting, and I may have just like not heard part of Huey's, if so correct me if I'm wrong on it. But I believe mine might be a little more interesting because a nihilist can't die because he'll always be reborn, so they have to find a way to be able to incapacitate him or banish him somewhere, since they can't kill him.
Okay. Huey, any remarks to that one?
Well, Exitar, the Executioner, he can make his first appearance at a planet in a distant world, say like where the Frost Giants are, completely decimate their world and all their beings, and keep working his way towards Earth, and just by word of mouth have it be known that there's this all-powerful being that is on his way. They maybe stop by the Nova Corps, destroy the Nova Corps, then that creates the holy fuck, we got an issue.
Okay.
And then I don't see it. The only way I could see them defeating a Celestial with this amount of power is for superheroes and supervillains to join forces as one team. That would make for one fucking hell of a movie. Then you could have the supervillain team affiliations band together. Kind of show, make that a possibility for future movies.
They may have to for Nihilus. He is slated as a universal threat level by the Nova Corps, and if he were to enter the positive universe, he would be categorized as a Category 1 criminal. So as soon as he even comes into the universe, they're already going to know. And they're going to be on alert.
Wow, guys, you had to make this last one the hardest.
You asked us the question.
That is very true. That is very true.
Your
But the
fault.
answer's what does it?
You could have told me to ready up. I forgot.
Now. Oh man, thanks guys. This is tough. When it comes down to it, Celestials are awesome. But I think it would honestly be more fun to see them try to take down somebody who cannot die.
Do you know that Exitar cannot die either?
He cannot die.
No.
Oh.
Another one would take his place.
Well. Y'all have,
But then that would be the end of the movie, and that'd be, I mean, to set it up for a new movie, because, you know, they'd have to have a new X-Men fight.
well,
Whereas they couldn't really end this movie unless they figure out some way to incapacitate him or banish him.
Well, like, Exitar was eventually murdered by Sue Storm after she destroyed his brain, and another Celestial stated that a new Exitar would take his place eventually.
okay, but he is killable.
Yeah. You just be creating a new character with the same moniker, as opposed to having a threat that you can't kill, but you have to banish with the threat of them always getting out again.
Wow, y'all are making this even harder on me. Come on now.
Hey, it's the finales, man.
Yeah,
Why
but the
are you
last
going to
question,
Tilted Towers? Are you drunk?
I wasn't going to Tilted Towers.
You
I was
better
trying
not
to
be
go
going
to
Tilted
Lonely
Towers.
Lodge.
I ain't going to Tilted Towers, I'll tell you that. Oh, I won't make it to Lonely Lodge, no way.
Okay,
I'm gonna die in Pleasant Park.
with that said,
Oh, this is
even
not
though somebody would replace him, he could still be killable. And I feel like it would be more entertaining watching them try to incapacitate someone who cannot die. It would be another momentous Doctor Strange, Dormammu type feel to it. So, with that said, I'm going to give the final round to Monk.
Fair enough, I'd watch that movie.
Which would
I'd watch both movies.
allow Monk to claim the Season 2 championship. And he is the winner of the PSN gift card. So, I appreciate you guys participating in this season, and I am pretty aware that both of you were wanting into the next season.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Had a blast. I'm honestly kind of in shock that I won, to be honest with you. 'Cause I kind of just pulled that one out of nowhere.
Both of you have fought really hard this season, and both of you have done really well.
Yeah, thank you. Hats off to my buddy Hugh.
It's a good
The
round.
questions themselves I wasn't really worried about, but the fact that I was going against you, buddy, was my main concern.
I know you have lots of tricks up your sleeve.
I do. I'm a tricky guy.
So, I'm going to call it here so we can get this online for everybody to see the finale. And I will go ahead and let everyone know that Season 3 is in the works. We'll be getting on that very shortly, and I hope you join in to see that. And I hope to see you guys participate in next season or the latter.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
until then, guys, thank you for joining us at True Nerdgasm for the Nerd Out. And we can't wait to see you guys next time.